marriage is not do or die. If your spouse is a time bomb and can explode and cause you harm at any time, and you're still there praying and fasting that he will change, let Osinachi's Wanchuku's death be your wake-up call. Society is enabling evil and abusive men by putting the burden of a successful and happy marriage on the woman. Society, unfortunately, expects the woman to be perfect to an imperfect and irresponsible husband. The pressure to remain married by our families and society, even if your spouse wants to kill you, is unbelievable, and our churches are not helping. It's better to be breaking news that you left your abusive husband than to be breaking news that your husband killed you. There's no reward in heaven for dying in the hands of your spouse. Hello, amazing family. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Amazing Grace with Bosse. On this program, I'm committed to changing lives and impacting people one person at a time. If that interests you, keep watching and make sure to like and subscribe. Today on this program, we're going to be talking about domestic violence, and I want us to be very realistic. I do not in any way subscribe to fighting or abuse of any kind, but we must say it as it is. Sometimes couples argue and fight. Can it be avoided? Absolutely yes. We know that some women are parrots. They would verbally abuse the man and provoke him to hit them. But that's where self-control comes in. Apart from women who are troublemakers and outright disrespectful, the truth is that some men do horrible and evil things that make the women talk. Talking is therefore the only way the women can vent. Yes, abuse can happen sometimes between husbands and wives. Not acceptable, but it can happen during the course of a marriage. And sometimes the couple realizes that, this is wrong. This is not healthy behavior, and so it never happens again. But there's also the husband who beats his wife as often as he feels like. The truth is that the average African woman, even an Oyibo woman, is not likely to leave her marriage after one fight, because the man is likely to get on his knees to beg and say, I'm sorry, it's the devil. One of the toughest decisions a woman can ever make is to leave a marriage, because women come to marriages thinking, with the mind that they will live happily ever after. So it's not a decision that is arrived at lightly. Oh, my heart bleeds. My heart bleeds for the passing of Osinachi. Marriage is beautiful and honorable if you have the right partner. That partner that encourages you to be the best that you can be. If you have that, you're lucky. But it's not all luck to have a successful marriage. It's not a cup of tea. You must put in the work and be lucky to have a partner who appreciates you and who is also ready to put in the work and committed to your union. But if you love, you respect your partner, you're faithful, you're committed and loyal to your partner, and that is not enough for your spouse, and your life is in danger, baby girl, please excuse yourself. No woman wants a broken home. There's nothing as beautiful as a home with a reasonable, responsible, and loving husband or wife. Now, we know that there's no perfect marriage, just two people who are committed to work together. But if a man turns you to a punching bag and wants to kill you, baby girl, excuse yourself. Most women have endured and indeed are still enduring one kind of abuse or the other from the hands of people they love. For some, it's physical. For others, it's emotional, psychological, verbal, financial, and even sexual. Now, it doesn't matter the type of abuse you're experiencing. If it's eating you up inside and you are miserable and your life is tearing apart and you're wasting away, please excuse yourself. No man or woman is worth dying for. If you are slowly sliding into depression, no peace, and you cannot manage the stress in that space, before you lose your mind and find yourself in a psychiatric facility or in the grave, please excuse yourself. But if you can manage what you're dealing with, and if it's not life-threatening or stopping you from reaching your fullest potential, and you can mentally detach, delete, and disengage physically and emotionally, and you can live a genuinely full, joyful, and wholesome life, fantastic. Let everybody day their day. But if you do not have the capacity to do so, please, excuse yourself. There's no marriage in heaven. When they say for better, for worse, it does not mean that when your partner wants to kill you, you should remain there and die. That will be suicide. Unfortunately, everywhere you go, what you hear is, it's our culture. Once you marry, you can't come back to your father's house. Your father did worse, and you must endure. That nonsense must stop. I'm happy that this generation, the millennials and Generation Z, is not having that rubbish. If culture does not serve us well, hey, let's change it. Let's keep the good parts of our culture and do away with the bad. After all, what is culture? It's the social behavior and way of life of a people. The culture of silence is another problem, and parents advising newlyweds to endure and never to invite a third party into their marriage, no matter the problem. And that is becoming our undoing. It's killing our children and enabling evil men. Yes, there are things that should and must be private in your home. After all, we all have our problems. But if your husband or wife is a terrorist and their actions endangers your life, then invite a third party. Speak up and run for your life. The stigmatization of women who are not married or women who left an abusive marriage should stop. It's sad, to know that it's women that are the gatekeepers and enforcers of our bad culture. The culture that enables men to behave badly and oppress women. We have to do better. Oh, yes. We have to say no to nonsense. We have to start our own culture. Yes. Our new culture is no to domestic violence. Yes. Our new culture is no to oppression. Our new culture is women are not properties. Our new culture is it's okay to leave a monster. Our new culture is that you can separate from your husband or wife if he's an abuser. Yes. Our new culture is make sure you have your own change, your own ATM card. Our new culture is sorosoke, speak up and scream for help if your life is in danger. Our new culture is that it's okay to be single until you find the right person. Our new culture is that marriage is not do or die. Yes, enough is enough. Osinachi Nwachukwu's death is one too many.
You are the living God. Oh, there's no one like you.
Her death just shows that domestic violence is no respecter of persons or talents. Can you imagine? Her life brutally came to an end, came to a tragic end in the hands of the husband who is supposed to be her lover, her protector, her defender. What a loss. Sadly, there are stories of men like Osinachi's husband around us, destiny killers, men who will not allow their wives to flourish, jealous, envious, and evil men who do not want to see their wives succeed. There are many women today who are alive but dead. Their husbands have become emperors and have made them a shadow of themselves. They are just like zombies. And the church is not left out. They are quick to stigmatize and condemn the woman who dares to leave a husband, even when the husband is a monster. The church is supposed to be a safe place. Unfortunately, that's where the condemnation actually starts from. This has to stop. Our religious leaders must start to preach to their congregation that yes, we know that God hates divorce, but God would rather you separate from a monster, an abuser, than die in a bad marriage. It's so sad that we live in a society that does not see, domestic violence as a criminal offense. Quite often, they tell victims that, it's a family affair. Go home and deal with it. So I guess since it's a family matter, families and perhaps the community can now have or, take it upon themselves to organize vigilante group. Yes, vigilante group dedicated to flogging and beating up abusive husbands before they graduate to become murderers like Osinachi's husband, Peter Nwachukwu. It would be nice for such men to have a taste of what it feels like to be abused, beaten, and humiliated. Perhaps that will help to reform some of them. Let's stop using kid gloves to handle abusers. Now, having said all of this, you and I know that it's not easy to walk out of a marriage. People have different reasons why they think They cannot leave an abusive or dangerous spouse. For some, it's fear of how will I survive? For others, it's how will I raise my children alone? And for others, it's shame and the stigma. Sister, that's abusive husband that wants to kill you is not your God. There's no marriage in heaven. If you're a victim of domestic violence, excuse yourself and start today to formulate a strategy. Have a plan. Have a plan. That's our show for today. Those who have ears, let them hear. Until I come your way again, stay safe and excuse yourself if your life is in danger. Marriage is beautiful, but marriage is not do or die. Bye-bye.